Hello, crypto people. Joey here. I'm part of the Chart Guys team. Been a trader and analyst for a long time. I'm here to talk about some crypto. We have got bears showing up over the past few days here, and the big question across the space is, are weekly lower highs shaping up? We know weekly lower highs are the most likely scenario on this bounce, barring increasing bull volume. So we're going to look into that. We'll go back and look into how the rotation played out from Thursday's stream, because that did play out nice. But as I was saying then, once we get that rotation to play out and get these weekly bounces underway, we can't forget that lower highs are the most likely scenario. So let's get on into the charts. Before we get on into the charts, we are still doing the free trials over here at the Chart Guys. So if you go to our website, chartguys.com, there's info on that there. And maybe, just maybe, there's an angel watching the stream that can post the link in chat. Let's go on and get to some charts. So looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart. In fact, let's zoom out once more. Let's look at the monthly, just because it's been a while since we've been talking bigger picture stuff. And I'll just reiterate once again, as long as monthly 12 EMA is support on Bitcoin, then from a macro perspective, bulls are looking good. If we were to lose that, that's when we'd be talking about the potential of 6-month consolidation shaping up. And with so many alts with potential 6-month equilibriums like Ethereum, it wouldn't be surprising for Bitcoin to see a 6-month pullback with these alts if that were going to shape on up. But that's not going to happen as long as we're holding monthly 12 EMA. So zooming in to the weekly, we had our weekly inside bars, got the bull break, weekly bounce underway. Excellent, right? Yeah, it is excellent to catch that move, but we can't be bamboozled if we get a weekly lower high compared to 70.1K. And with bears making a little bit of a stand here, we now have the next metric for how probabilities are going to shift, and that is the health of this daily consolidation. Is it surprising to see daily consolidation after a move up of 12.5%? No, it's not. But is this daily consolidation going to lead to a weekly lower high or not? Well, we look at our retracement size, we look at our EMAs, very often a good guide for that. So here we are in this spot where we're testing the daily 12 EMA, and it's do or die time for bulls. They got to show up now, which is the title of the stream. It's the picture on the thumbnail. Bulls got to show up now, because if they do show up now, then they can be hopeful that they can see some more weekly bounce continuation. If they don't show up now and bears see a leg down below these EMAs, that's when they're going to start creating room for a daily lower high, attempt a daily downtrend to get a weekly lower high set. So do or die time now. Bulls looking for weekly bounce continuation are shooting their shots, and the aggressive ones, we're kind of scaling down into this. More patient are going to wait for us to get over hourly 12 EMA, because we have such a clear guide here. It's been rejecting since Sunday, and what the patient bull would look for is a move up and over hourly 12 EMA, then fish that low, say, all right, this is either our daily high or low, or I'm wrong, hope for the trend change, and that's just the hourly. Once we get that on the hourly, we'll have to zoom out, look at the 4-hour, and ultimately need to get the same thing on the 4-hour. 4-hour bounce, big enough to create room for a higher low, get that trend change. If bulls can do it from here, they are cruising. If they can't do it from here, then that's when hedging bulls or aggressive bears, aggressive bears also probably already in after that bull break, looking for a lack of follow through, just sideways bear break. Aggressive bears are probably in from something like that, but a bit more patient bears or hedging bulls that are waiting for some sign that bears are doing something, want to see a pullback further, and then they're going to look for a lower high up here compared to these highs up top from the other day at 65K clean. So that's what we got going on with Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance. We can see that sideways range on the daily that we were watching did break bull, and this is not upside on dominance because Bitcoin is leading the way to the upside. It's upside on dominance because Bitcoin is not going down as much as alts. So bigger picture, still just going to be all about 2-week 12 EMA on Bitcoin dominance. But to talk about some of the alts leading the way down here, we have Ethereum. We were watching for volatility. We had a tight range, bull break, decent move up, but no follow through. And right now back to our multi-bottom support, 25.09, 25.16, 25.36, and current low is 25.58. So to talk about what we were talking about last stream, lots of coins had this 3-day look with the 3-day lower high and higher low. a little clearer on Bitcoin. 3-day lower high, higher low. And then we started to see alts pop off one by one, breaking their 3-day resistance. Like MATIC really was the best example of it. Big time follow through there. But once those alts started to pop, that shifted the odds that others would follow. And that's why we were watching for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Sol to see some upside last stream. And they all ended up getting it. Sol didn't break resistance, but as far as the move off the last daily higher low, still 17% and well worth it. So the follow the leader concept is so important in the crypto space and just in the markets in general, but we'll be now doing that to the downside. There's still plenty of alts that have healthy daily consolidation like Sol, and there's some where it's verging onto the unhealthy side like MATIC. Granted, it's still holding daily 12 EMA. We do have room for a daily lower high next bounce, but it's a pretty even split right now. So if we start to see more alts see unhealthy daily consolidation, that will increase the odds that Bitcoin is shaping up a weekly lower high. So we just need to always be on the lookout for clues. But the big thing with Ethereum was if it's going to get notable follow through, ETH BTC needs to get over daily 12 EMA. Just continuing to reject and now back down to the lowest prices since that early August flush, which was the lowest prices for multiple years. So Ethereum remains in the doghouse. It just is what it is. Weekly stair step on ETH BTC. And as far as Ethereum USD itself, if bears take out 25.36, that's the weekly lower high being set. So bulls will be hopeful that they can form a higher low compared to 21.16. But we just got to respect that Ethereum is weaker than many other coins right now. We've lost monthly 12 EMA, and it's looking like that 6-month EQ has greater probability. Obviously, Bitcoin would need to come down if that was going to shape up here on Ethereum. Looking at LTC. So LTC just watching a daily EQ, low, high, higher low, double top, and now double bottom here at 62.05, 62.03. So if bulls can break the high of today tomorrow, then we'll stay within this daily EQ. If that EQ breaks bear, that's our weekly lower high being set. Bulls will be looking for a weekly higher low. And if bulls are going to hold this support on the daily, perhaps let's look at like a 2-hour inverse head and shoulders. Say bears defend 63.79. We would be looking at a left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, and that would be needed to get our daily bounce underway there for LTC. So what else we got? We got ton trying to hold weekly support. So we had our rising wedge, bear break, strong weekly bounce, well over the 50% retrace of the move down. But after that daily EQ broke bear, saw big time follow through. Big time follow through. Is it news? Is it just a pattern? Probably a combo of both. But we have bulls trying to defend 475 support. Current low is 502, and bulls trying to get a daily bounce underway. So if they're going to get a daily bounce underway, need to reconfirm 4-hour uptrend. We got 4-hour 12 EMA acting as resistance, but nice volatility here and some relative strength after big time relative weakness on whatever this was. I don't know, founder getting arrested in France or something. I don't know. I'm not the news guy. I'm the chart guy. But you know, we were talking last stream, or it wasn't last stream. It was the Chart Guys member only weekend video about, you know, beautiful daily EQ. Once it breaks, we can anticipate volatility. So whether you're tuned into the news or not, you could have been ready for that. All right, let's look at Sol. So Sol daily consolidation is healthy. Many coins started consolidation a few days ago, and Sol just stayed sideways at the highs. So bulls are hoping that this is a cup and handle here. If we hold these daily EMAs, it will be one. But same thing that we were talking about with Bitcoin on Thursday. Even if bulls do break through this now double top at 163.70, we do have to be cautious of a weekly lower high compared to 193.98. And that same framework that we're going through with Bitcoin right now in terms of how healthy is daily consolidation. That's what we'll be doing with Sol. Let's see, let's check back in on MATIC. Where'd you go, MATIC? There you are. So rejection from weekly 12 EMA. We did break weekly lower high resistance, but is it a coincidence where this candle closes? I don't think so. I do not think so. So daily consolidation underway. We're testing daily 12 EMA. Let's check out our hourly RSI. So bears just been grinding down hourly oversold conditions here, cooling it off and taking another leg lower. We'll let the 4-hour downtrend be our guide for this daily consolidation. So key resistance is 51.45, and bulls need to get up and over these 4-hour EMAs to try to shape up a daily higher low. Still tons of room for one to form, but at this point, with how extended we were from EMAs and how quickly we came back to them, bears are creating room for a daily lower high. If they can confirm a downtrend from there, then that'd be weekly consolidation getting underway, and then the hunt would be on for a weekly higher low. So that's pretty much that I'm looking at. It's only Tuesday, so we've got a lot of week left, but a lot of weekly candles looking kind of toppy right now, and knowing that we're looking for weekly lower highs, just going to keep reiterating, don't let yourself get bamboozled. Don't let yourself get bamboozled if we get weekly lower highs, and know that that's what a bull would want to see. Now, that might sound crazy to people. Why would a bull want to see weekly consolidation? Let me get to a cleaner chart. Get rid of these lines. Why would a bull want to see weekly consolidation? Because if we just V-shape up right through this, it's very unlikely to see follow through. Then you're working with like a big old megaphone or something, and risking, just a lack of follow through on new all-time highs is not a good look. It's typically never a good look, which, technically that's what we got on the monthly here, breaking above 69K. But that aside, what a bull wants to see is proper unrushed price action. Get your strong weekly bounce. It's a super strong weekly bounce. 32% on Bitcoin is very nice. Now get healthy weekly consolidation and confirm the first weekly uptrend since we lost it back here in April. That's the framework for a sustained healthy move that can see a monthly bull flag actually see follow through should it confirm. If you just V-shape it, it's not good. Chart Guys Lamont is always saying, nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. And the charts are very similar in that regard. You don't want to rush stuff. You want nice organic price action. So we'll see if bears can get it done. Aggressive bulls, again, looking for the daily higher low, but don't let yourself get bamboozled. All right, let's hop into chat, see what y'all got going on. Good afternoon, Lizard in the Lights. Chris Shermer, how's it going, my dude? Let's see, he's looking for a 15-minute trend change on Bitcoin as a good start. So we got the 15-minute trend change at this point, but for me, we got to get over hourly 12 EMA to say that bulls have a good start going. We've had some decent hourly bounces even after lower lows without follow through. It was looking like, oh, maybe that's shaping up. But time and time again, you just see these EMA riders ride and ride. So got to get over hourly 12 EMA, which right now is around 62.2K. What up, Schoolboy, Gravity Train, Ryan B. Yeah, hit those like buttons, like Ryan said. Listen to the man. What is up, Zach? Let's see. We got, would appreciate your honest thoughts on KUJI based on its chart. Absolute bloodbath. Let's go check it out. I think it's at the bottom of the list down here. So KUJI, let's zoom way out. We got new all-time lows, no follow-through, big monthly candle on the liquidation of the CEO's coins or whatever it was, and we're still just weak down here at the lows. So honest opinion is that an aggressive bull is looking for like a daily falling wedge here, like aggressive bull. Because my more tame honest opinion would be like, I don't know, wait for bulls to prove something. This is a really nice bounce off of the lows of 148%, but after you go down 77% in one weekly candle, it's not surprising to see that much spring back on a shitcoin. But I would probably, is it maybe 3-day 12 EMA we're riding bigger picture? Yeah, I'd want to see bulls like get up and over that and then fish a higher low, but just because of the bandwidth that you spend trying to nail a long position on a stinker just often isn't worth it. I don't know. It can be. If you get it to stick, it's great, but then that kind of fogs your view of thinking that like value purchases are worth it or something like that. They can be, but the probabilities are just so much lower. So for me personally, I value higher probability trades than I do like getting the best deal or the best price on something. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, but we can see these lower lows are lacking follow through. And in terms of what the rest of the space is doing, pretty ginger consolidation the last couple days here on KUJI. So I would be looking for this wedge, and that's what an aggressive bull can be looking to play off of on the daily. looking for essentially a move up to 3-day 12 EMA. So whether that means you're hoping for a bear break, no follow through to hop back in, stick your stop close under, or you're looking to, let me make this a little bigger. You could just be looking to play the next daily stair step break or daily candle break. I kind of use stair step and candle break synonymously. You know, Dan, when he's referring to stair steps, he wants like 6, 7, 8 successive candles. I'm just talking about candle breaks. Like if we know we're looking for a daily high or low, then you can play the break of the high of today tomorrow. Let's see. You could set up something like that. Get your 1-to-1 move, sell half, get risk-free. You don't even need to get through resistance to have that end up being a risk-free trade. We can tuck that up a bit more. Let's get that proper. Yeah, so you could do something like that if you're looking to be an aggressive bull. And the beauty of a candle break or stair step break, the main thing is that it's a reactive trade. So you don't have to make the decision of like, oh, well, do I want to buy here now and put my stop below support? When you've got a falling wedge, that's not advised because we know the pattern is seeing lower lows without follow through. So if you take the stair step break, it doesn't matter if we go from here or if we print a couple more down days, break support, and then go from here. So you can set up the play the same way. It's right there. If we do break support, I typically like to get aggressive in there because when you have a developed falling wedge, I don't mind getting aggressive on the support break as long as you have extension into the break. And I'll still do a stair step of sorts most of the time. I suppose it depends on the time frame. If this was a smaller time frame and the apex wasn't 20% away or 14% away, is what I'll do often is I'll just kind of make my invalidation point the apex, and this can kind of vary based on the steepness of the wedge. Sometimes it's way too steep to do that. But then when we get down to support, I'll just kind of scale in at support, below support, stop a little bit lower at the apex, and that's a decently high probability move if you truly do have a falling wedge. And if you lose the apex, you're breaking bear out of the falling wedge. So that's one way to do it. Another way is like a 15-minute stair step, 5-minute stair step, whatever, on and a break of support with extension. All right. Dan K, how do you determine if you're going to look at a weaker coin as a laggard or stay away from it because it is relatively weak? The BTC ratios typically will let you know what's going on with that. Like if you have a technical setup on your BTC ratio of the coin that you're looking to be a laggard, then when that ratio starts to see some upside, that tells you that the laggard game is on. So it's a little easier to hunt laggards in a very clear, like trending bull environment because we more commonly do see consistent rotation through everything. It's a little tougher when you're sideways and you've got some coins that are like been laggards for a long time because they just keep going down. But almost always when you're trying to navigate rotation, utilizing the BTC ratios is the answer to that. And also you can just have like a clear technical signal. Like when we were looking for Sol to be a laggard, you know, it's just a daily tightening range. So really the bull break of 148.83 is the go signal that, all right, it's happening here. Or you can take the same approach of what we're talking about with KUJI, where it's like, all right, if Sol's going to be a laggard, I'm going to take a daily candle break and try to lop out half, get risk-free, and look and see if it can go. And ETH is the same in terms of, you know, was it a laggard? Yes. Did it last long? No. But all about those ratio charts and then technical levels on the chart that you're playing. Let's see, Dr. Fell. Nice to make 2 live streams in one day. Picked a good day to take the day off work. Yes, you did, my friend. Yes, you did. And that Lori one this morning, you know, those morning open houses are not nearly as common as the crypto ones. So it's a good day to have the day off. And if you wanted to catch a third, I'm doing another in the chart guys for the members only at 3:15, and we're running the free trials. We are running the free trials, so you know you got the community here. And we got streams all throughout the day. And there will be a post here in 10 minutes saying we got another one coming up. So let me get the free trial link and I'll drop it in chat here since we're talking about it. Surely I can find it. So this is what the page is going to look like. Chartguys.com/free membership trial. Start your free trial now. It's read only, so you can't type, but you can see everything that's going on and you can watch all those streams and whatnot. Let's see, can I look at MSTR? I can. So we broke bull out of the tightening range, the mini tightening range within the broader tightening range. But like Bitcoin, can't get too hasty because we know we're looking for a weekly lower high and everything else is going to be quite similar to Bitcoin. Does this consolidation stay healthy? I can say that after breaking out of this range, bulls would like to hold the previous resistance. You could kind of say it's still holding now. We probably won't find out till tomorrow, or if we get like a dump into the end of the day. But just watching this haphazard daily uptrend as our guide for the weekly move, knowing we're looking for a weekly lower high, waiting for bears to give us a clue with some deep consolidation that may be shaping up. Let's see, D. Roachid. I have trouble understanding BTC ratio charts and would love to understand what are some of the top things you look for in these ratio charts. The biggest thing is that the same technicals that we apply on the USD pairings, the same way we go about applying technicals to the USD pairings, we go about applying technicals to the ratio charts. And then you essentially let the ratio chart tell you when you want to be in a USD pairing based on the technicals on the ratio charts. So a very kind of straightforward example, who was it who had, it was a 2-day 12 EMA rider into just like an insano move once it broke. YFI BTC. I think it was a 2-day. Yeah. Back here. So we can, in a moment like this, we can say, all right, YFI USD is going to be relatively weak as long as 2-day 12 EMA is resistance on the ratio chart. And then once you get up and over, you certainly can't anticipate follow through like that. But that's when it tells you like, all right, YFI is on the map now. And that's when you go to YFI USD, you buy like a 4-hour higher low, daily higher low, whatever. So that's one example of it. Another example of it could be like looking at Sol BTC, saying, all right, well, we know a weekly lower high was the most likely scenario on this bounce. So while Sol USD was a strong bouncer here, because the ratio chart's looking for a weekly lower high, then we can anticipate that Sol USD is going to have relative weakness coming on in. So that's kind of the general gist of it. It's kind of like a fourth dimension to the charts, because if you're just looking at the USD pairing, you're just looking at those levels, and then you kind of learn if you have relative strength or relative weakness based on whether the move is strong or weak. But the BTC pairings just give us an extra edge to be able to anticipate shifts in relative strength and relative weakness. So there's a webinar that I did called How to Utilize Correlations, if I'm not mistaken, and I can get the link for that here and put it in chat. And it's all about ratio charts and kind of leveraging them to your trading. And it's one of my top edges, one of my favorite edges, because it sounds complicated. It is if you haven't put in the time to kind of understand it, but once it clicks, it's an absolute top edge to add to your trading. So I just wrangled the link here. Let me drop it in chat and check that out. You'll learn a lot more. I also wrote an ebook that's on our website somewhere. If you go hunt ebooks on our website, there's another one. I think it's the same title. All right, Richard Tyler. Please, could you give insight into Doge, falling wedge on the hourly, 4-hour, and daily? Let's look at that. Doge USDT. So Doge just starting zoomed out. We know we're looking for a monthly higher low, and there's no sign of it yet. Well, I guess we can't say no sign. We did get a weekly bear flag confirmed without follow through. That's the first sign. But next thing bulls need to do is regain a weekly uptrend. So talking about an hourly falling wedge, it's a little steep for me to call it an hourly falling wedge, because the main thing you want with falling wedges is to show the lack of bear follow through. You want to see some bear exhaustion. So while it does draw nice, to me, this is just more of a steady 4-hour downtrend. You could say this most recent one was a little bit of a lack of follow through, but what I would want to see to be a bit more confident is break that trend line. And obviously the trend lines fit. So we can, the trend lines are still valid, but the psychological element of a wedge is what really draws the interest in. So you can use the trend lines as a visual guide, but one way to go about it would be have bulls get a 4-hour bounce underway, set up a 4-hour inverse head and shoulders. And that's what an aggressive bull could be looking for here, knowing that it's just a daily bounce we'd be looking for, and then we'd be looking for a daily lower high due to the depth of the pullback. This is one of the alts doing worse on our consolidation. It started 3 days ago and is now deep enough for bears to be able to form a lower high compared to 1154.6. If bears from here confirm a daily downtrend, that's when we get our weekly lower high set, and then aggressive bulls will be looking for a weekly higher low, hoping that we don't form like a weekly falling wedge. After that lower low, no follow through, let's get rid of these lines. It could definitely set up a bit of a weekly falling wedge, something like that, if we were to get another round of lower lows, no follow through. But all about the weekly chart in terms of getting a monthly bounce underway here for Doge. And I guess we can look at Doge BTC, see if we have any clues there. Doge BTC, relative weakness. So this is another utilization of these charts, is oftentimes you'll see the BTC pairing kind of lead the USD pairing, and we've got Doge BTC getting its weekly lower high set here today. So that's one angle of it, but the other angle is we're testing the lowest level since April 2021, and it's a double bottom right now. So while we know we're weak and we have relative weakness, we know that if ratio bulls defend support, and we treat this just like any other technical chart, if ratio bulls defend support and break the weekly downtrend, confirm a weekly uptrend, then we know that Doge USD will be back on the map in terms of relative strength. Let's see, Lizard. How bad are new all-time lows? Is this a major red flag for an asset taking out its previous all-time low? It is. It is because essentially you have no supply down there. So functionally, how price moves is very different. It's the opposite of all-time highs and blue skies. Because if you have a name in blue skies with nothing overhead, you don't have levels for people to be working off of. You don't have supply overhead that people are going to be unloading into and like trying to get out, break even at. You don't have any of that. So it's the opposite for all-time lows, where there's just no support. There's nothing enticing technical traders to buy. And I know like there's a lot of people that just dabble around in shitcoins and whatnot, but you know, bet your bottom dollar there's a ton of professional traders where this is their full-time job. And folks like Dan, like myself, just don't play names that are at all-time lows because it's structurally sick. It's structurally weak at that point. It doesn't mean that you can't survive and revive from that. So Carvana's the best, like most recent freakish example of this. All-time lows should be, not good, and then into like a 5,000% bounce or something, 4,400% bounce. This is rare. You don't see this often. It's more often what you see is like what we've got with like AMC, where you break to new all-time lows and you just bleed out. And even when we get all that meme mania, you just come back up and reject off of previous all-time lows and dribble back down. So if you want to see if something can recover, got to be patient. Like folks who were patient with Carvana and said, all right, well, I'm going to wait for bulls to do something, 459% bounce. Okay, now I'm going to look for a monthly higher low. see if they can get the trend change. Like, wait for bulls to prove something to you to let you know that this turd, who's literally never been worse off, is actually doing something. All right. Shoshanot, seeing you live for the first time ever. Awesome. Awesome to have you, man. Awesome to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Man or ma'am. Let's see. Thanks for the answer and link. Could you also give your thoughts on FTM? I actually cannot give my thoughts on FTM. I gotta get on. I'll do it real quick. I gotta be quick. If I'm late for the Chart Guys stream, I'm gonna blame you, D-Ruchid. So FTM, looking for a monthly high or low. We've got one of our stronger weekly bounces out here. So potential for a weekly inverse head and shoulders. Bulls definitely going to be scouting a weekly high or low. We do have bears defending resistance at 54.70. And if we're going to get a weekly lower high, bulls, or bears rather, need to take out daily 12 EMA and confirm a downtrend. So holding on well on consolidation, and definitely one of our stronger bouncers on the way up. But we just know that risk to reward up here doesn't really favor bulls. Doesn't mean you can't try a daily high or low position. You just want to have your stop in place. I mean, as always, but it's more important to have a stop if you're looking to get bullish right below key resistance. Typically, you want to be selling near resistance, buying near support. But yeah, FTM looking good. Was looking good. What's up with this big old 4-hour bar? Yeah, it was holding on better than everybody else, but now we got some bearish correlation, and this is probably like 1 15-minute bar or something. Yeah, I don't know how I can tell that. You just see when something's like really veering from correlation suddenly after and showing a clear character change, it's like you can kind of just assume it's one of those crypto like boggening bars. But yeah, I got to regain a 4-hour uptrend nonetheless to get a daily high or low set, and this is where bulls are trying to do it from. All right, I gotta go. Thank you for tuning in. We'll check back in later in the week, see if we get these weekly lower highs shaping up, or if bulls keep the show on the road. Be watching other alts for clues as to what we're gonna get, and check out the free trial if you're looking for a free trial. Hit the like button, please, if you haven't, but only if you like it. Thanks again for spending some of your afternoon with me, and I will see you next time.